So after recently unboxing and reviewing the Umidigi G9 5G, link in the description if you want to check that one out, today I'm going to be checking out the cheaper Umidigi G9T, which cuts back on a few other specs to get the price even lower at about 100 quid brand new. So let's get into it. Okay, so here is the Umidigi G9T released in September. And it's in obviously the G9 series from Umidigi, just cutting back on a few specs from the G9 5G to get the price just a little bit lower. So it's just a 4G phone and I picked it up in their green color. Let's just flip the case off just a second. It's quite a nice green color, nice shimmery effect. Peel off the front, and there is a pre-applied screen protector on the front of this phone. So if I just read out some specs, it's in grass green. There's 4 gigs of RAM plus 4 gigabytes of storage to extend that RAM, and 128 gigs of built-in storage. And you also get an information book, a charging brick which does 10 watts, and a SIM pin and a charging cable as well. So it's nice that it comes with a charger in the box. And here is the Umidigi G9T LED flash, and there's a 2 megapixel depth camera and just a regular 13 megapixel main camera. So it's not a sort of pixel binning camera, and then there's just an 8 megapixel selfie camera on the front. That's got some grubby fingerprints already. So I'll just set the phone up and then we'll go through the OS. Okay, so here's the Umidigi G9T out of the box. And as you can see, it's a pretty stock version of Android, with only really TikTok being the extra app. And then there's a couple of Umidigi's own apps that they've pre-installed as well. Now, one thing to note out of the box, there is no apps drawer. And so far as I found with the Umidigi G9 5G is there's no way to add an apps drawer unless you install the Nova launcher, which I did on the G9 5G. But if you put both phones side by side, they share the exact same dimensions, same screen size, same screen resolution at 720p, and the same 90 Hz refresh rate. So it's a 6.75 inch display on the G9T with a 90 Hz refresh rate and a 720p resolution. And if you jump into the settings, you've just got the usual settings options. So your Wi-Fi and your hotspot, and then Bluetooth options. There's no save devices, obviously. And then if you jump into wallpaper and style, there's a few options on here where you can change your wallpapers. There's a few preloaded on there. So let's change that, add that to both home and lock screen. And just a couple of ways to customize the phone how you want it to look. And there's a few other options as well. You can change the colors of the icons and things like that. First stutter of the experience. And then if you jump into display, of course you've got the usual bits and bobs, adaptive brightness, lock screen, showing notifications, etc. And there is of course a dark mode. You can change the display size and the text size. You can change it to bold if you really wanted to. And then there's night light, which just filters out the blue light, and you can set that to come on at a certain time in the evening. And then there's colors and contrast, which you can set to standard, increased or automatic depending on the conditions. And then you can set the refresh rate as well. You can have it at 60 Hz, 90 Hz all the time, or switch between 60 and 90 Hz depending on what you're doing. And then there's the screensaver mode, which is an always on type thing, just to give you a bit of information. And then of course you've just got the usual sound and vibration options. Now unsurprisingly on this phone, The haptics aren't great. It's not a great vibration motor in here. So I will turn touch feedback off, because when texting with that vibration going, it's not a very pleasant experience. And then you can jump into individual app notifications. There's no notifications so far. And then security and privacy, you can set a screen lock. So if I just do a pattern for the time being, and then we'll confirm that. And then that's when it allows you to select if you want to see your notifications, but only when unlocked. While we're here, we'll check for updates. And there is a security update, which I will download in a second. And then device unlock, there is a fingerprint scanner, not always found at this price. So we can enroll the fingerprint scanner just to see its responsiveness. Just got to move your thumb around just to make sure that all parts are registered, including the tips, for a more reliable read when you open up the phone. And it of course tells you when a certain part has been enrolled already. Of course you can add multiple fingerprints if you want. And then there's a face unlock as well, which I won't use, and we'll just test out. So it's about as fast as you'd expect any other capacitive fingerprint scanner to be, really. Not the fastest on the market. And then of course you can go back and do other app settings. So for argument's sake, let's go into the camera, notifications, using mobile data, location, all that sort of stuff on there. And then you've got battery information as well. There's a power saving mode, ultra power saving, battery percentage. Now it doesn't give you the option of having the percentage bar next to the battery icon. It's always within. I don't always like that because it's not quite as easy to see at a glance as having the percentage next to it. And then you've just got your storage information here. You do get the option to add a micro SD card for expanding that storage. And then you've just got some options to use gestures, which I will just quickly demonstrate. Swiping up, swipe up to hold to close, and then swiping up to go back as well. And then when you're in the Play Store, you can swipe back, not just the Play Store, of course, any apps, you can swipe left or right to go back. I keep swiping up thinking there's an app store, but there isn't. And then you've just got the other bits, memory extension to extend that RAM. So it has extended it. No, it hasn't. Sorry, my apologies. Sometimes it extends it by a certain amount out of the gate. There isn't any extension on here at the moment. So there is just 4 gigs and you can expand it up to 4 gigs extra to give you up to 8 gigs of RAM. I won't do that yet because it will prompt me to restart, which I won't be doing just yet. You can of course schedule the phone to come on and turn off at certain times. Lift to check phone, I did actually turn that on while setting the phone up. So that would traditionally be off out of the box. And then there's just a few other bits, password and accounts. And then you can jump into about phone, Umidigi G9T, Android 14, running a Unisoc T606 processor, very entry level specs, just 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. So just a very bog standard smartphone. I have used the T606 and other devices without much of an issue. You are going to get the odd stutter here and there, but it shouldn't be too bad. Now, if I just find a subject to take a picture of, Frodo Baggins, why not? So the 13 megapixel main camera isn't going to get you, of course, the best results. God, those fingerprints are horrendous. And of course, bearing in mind that the lighting conditions in my room aren't too bad, aren't too great. at the moment. And there is a 2x crop option and also a 3x crop option. So that just gives you a bit of flexibility in your shooting. And of course, this is just a 13 megapixel sensor. There's no pixel binning or anything like that, but you do get a portrait mode, a night mode, a couple of other options in there, and then video tops at 1080p at 30 FPS as a pro mode, and of course panorama as well. And then if I just check out the 8 megapixel selfie camera, which again isn't going to give you the best options. There's not really much going on in way of HDR to kind of control the highlights, but for a budget phone it's not too bad, although saying that would help if I turned it on. Definitely a bit better there, you can see. It took a second or two to process, but the option is definitely there. And of course it is on the main camera as well. And then you've got a few other options in there. Filters, beauty mode, which I'll definitely be turning off. But overall, that's the Umidigi G9T out of the box. A pretty standard budget phone, really. Of course, in terms of updates, it's not going to get a huge amount of software support. It's not really surprising at this sort of budget price and from these lesser known brands. So that's just something to bear in mind when looking at this phone. But for 100 quid, and there are often vouchers on Amazon as well to get you 10, 15 quid off, it's not too bad. But let me know down in the comments what you think of this G9T. Check out my G9 5G video, and I'll see you in the next one.